Hello friends. How to install 2 pods almalinux OS with different IP and install sshuttle VPN in microk8s ubutnu WSL Arman Shariarian IR.
Hello friends, in this tutorial we learn how to install 2 pods almalinux OS with different IP and install sshuttle VPN in microk8s in ubuntu WSL. Prerequisite is ubuntu on WSL2 install and microk8s installed on ubuntu and sshuttle installed on ubuntu. Step 1. Install microk8s and enable add-ons. Use this command: install microk8s classic mode. Copy this command and paste here and wait to install microk8s install. After complete install microk8s classic mode, use this command for user mode set microk8s and use this command and create new group microk8s and enable DNS and storage and metal load balancer with range IP these add-ons with this command. Wait to enable DNS and storage add-ons and metal load balancing add-ons with this range IP. Enable. After complete this command, DNS for internal name resolution, storage persistent storage for pods if needed, metal load balancing for the load balancer with the IP range, this to this range. And step 2, create almalinux pods with specific IPs. Create a deployment configuration. Create a YAML file to define 2 almalinux pods, each with a unique IP. Save this file as almalinux deployment.yaml file. Wait to complete enable add-ons. Next, create this file, almalinux deployment.yaml file. After enable add-ons, create almalinux deployment YAML file with this command and copy this script from here to here. This script 2 API version, use version 1 API and version 1 API version for 2 almalinux pod 1 and almalinux pod 2 with container name almalinux container and image name almalinux with latest version. Save this file and for deploy the pod, apply the pod deployment file to create the pod. With this command you can use apply almalinux deployment file wait to apply this file for solve this error. Remove this line and this line, remove save this and run again. Deployment almalinux YAML file, wait for apply almalinux pod 1 created and almalinux pod 2 created completed, and verify pod creation. Check if both almalinux pods are running with this command get pods, and use this command for get pods and install pods. Status continue creating for pod 1 and pod 2 and wait to running pod 1 and pod 2 almalinux. After complete creating container, status running for pod 1 and pod 2 almalinux, and next step 3, install sshuttle VPN. For install sshuttle VPN in WSL Ubuntu instance, first update Ubuntu and wait to complete updated. After update complete, with this command install sshuttle, wait to complete install sshuttle VPN and configure sshuttle. Run sshuttle to set up a VPN connection. Here is a basic command to forward all traffic through sshuttle. With this command, remove user and use user for other server and use remote server IP other server, and verify VPN connection. After running a sshuttle command, you should have a VPN connection. You can test it by pinging an IP address within the VPN network. Step 4, assign a static IP to pods if needed. By default, Kubernetes assign dynamic IP to pods. If static IP are required, use this. Install Maltose CNI and configure CNI in microk8s for multiple network interfaces, but this step is more complex and may need a dedicated network configuration. Alternative, expose each pod through a load balancer or node port service with metal load balancer. Step 5, expose pods via load balancer IP. Alternative, two static IPs. If you need stable IPs to access the pod, expose them using load balancer service with these two commands. Use this command get svc cluster IP this and type cluster IP, name Kubernetes, and step 6, test connection to pods. Use the assigned load balancer IPs to connect to each almalinux pod, for example with this ssh command, root assign load balancer IP